What is going on, you guys? I want to talk to you today about Kickstarter. Do you guys use Kickstarter? Do you guys ever back any games on Kickstarter? Have you even heard of it? Some people are very much opposed to Kickstarter, and some people use it all the time. I use it quite a bit. I've maybe not as much as some of you, but you know, as you know, not all of the games that I play are Star Wars games. I've done a couple of unboxings. I'm just going to talk about some of like the biggest successes, some of my favorite games on Kickstarter. There's some that are going right now, and basically, if you're not familiar with it, it's just, you know, it's this crowdfunding site where people can, you know, get a lot of different games funded right now. On Crabbok.com, on the message boards, there was some talk about, you know, popular Kickstarters that were going. Right now, there's a Street Fighter one that's going right now, which is insane. And a lot of times I will back these, and then I will sometimes bail out at the last minute, kind of depending on how many stretch goals get reached or after some reviews and gameplay videos come out. But yeah, like this one, I backed this at a $280 World Warrior pledge, which I don't know if I'm going to stick with or not. I just wanted to back it in case they were to maybe sell out of that pledge, or sometimes there is only a limited number of pledges that are available. But this game looks insane for a number of things that I really like about it. First off, these miniatures look like they're maybe the best miniatures I've ever seen. And they're going to be pre-painted, so maybe the best looking pre-painted miniatures I've ever seen. That being said, we'll see how they actually look when the final production copy comes out. And it's got like so many different characters from Street Fighter. And one of the reasons I went with you know, this final pledge is because they have all these different versions of Street Fighter as well. Like they've got like Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 5, and all these different characters. And they have all these different stretch goals. What's kind of unfortunate, I guess, is that a lot of the stretch goals are just the regular characters from Street Fighter 2, which is, you know, the most well-known Street Fighter. Like, you know, why is Guile a stretch goal? Why is Blanca a stretch goal? Why is E Honda a stretch? You know, Dalsim shouldn't be a stretch goal. I could see maybe Balrog being a stretch goal because he was only in like Champions Edition, or when you could play as the bosses. You know, Cammy makes sense as a stretch goal, but because she wasn't in the original Street Fighter 2, I think she was in like one of its expansions, like Turbo Edition or something like that. But look at these things. They're just insane. I'm kind of blown away by some of this. So yes, so this is one that I'm looking at getting. For the gameplay, it looks kind of simplistic. I don't know if it's going to be super fun or not, but one of the things that sells me on this game is that each character has their own deck of cards, and they're all independently balanced, and there's nothing you have to do. There's no maintenance or upkeep with these. It's not like there's going to be expansions and you have to upgrade the decks or whatever. The deck is the deck. So if you bring this to a gaming party and say, all right, everybody pick a character. Each character has one deck that goes with it. You're done. There's no more explanation, no more teaching. It's done. Everybody has their own deck. So I like that. I like the simplicity. And also it plays up to 6, which is really cool because you can do, you know, tag teams. You can do like 3 versus 3, or you can do like a free-for-all. I really like the free-for-all option too, although I don't know how fun it's going to be because some games with player elimination tend to struggle. So Street Fighter is one that's pretty interesting. Another one that's going on right now is Zombicide Invader. This one is actually doing kind of poorly. I mean, granted, it's over $1 million, so, you know, poor. We all use poor differently, but yeah. So this one's doing kind of poorly compared to, I think, where they may have expected it to be doing. Now, if you've ever played Zombicide, I've talked a little bit. I've done some Zombicide unboxings for some of the different ones. You know, originally it was a modern shooter, cooperative survival. You know, shooting and searching for new guns and taking out the zombies and trying to escape. Very fun game. Cooperative games are very fun for gateway games or beginners, just because you're all on the same side trying to survive, and that was cool. And it's cool for a new player to, you know, to do that, because you're telling them, hey, it's okay. You know, I think you should do this because, you know, we are all doing that, and you know, I think you should do that because this is, you know, you can help them, give them offer suggestions. You know, basically help them play you or even play the game for them if somebody really doesn't understand it. And it's got a simple rule set, so you really just need one person at the table who knows how to play the game, because they can do all the AI for you. But a fun game. But this is effectively, it seems like it's just a reskin. There's really, what happened is they had 3 seasons of Zombicide, and then they came out with 3 Kickstarters for it, and with several expansions in there. Then they came out with Zombicide Black Plague, which was a complete reboot to the franchise, launched it in medieval times. And then after Black Plague, they came out with Green Horde, which is like season 2 of Zombicide Black Plague. The logo here is different. They have torches, and it's all medieval. This one has like orcs and monsters and all kinds of Demogorgon. And one of the cool things that Zombicide, or Simon, cool mini or not, now just Simon, what the cool thing that they do is they launch like all these Kickstarter exclusive heroes that you can play as, that are, they have regular heroes, and they're all different kind of archetypes. But the cool thing about it is their Kickstarter exclusive heroes are all kind of designed to mimic somebody else who is in pop culture. Maybe not all of them. Like in this one, in this one they had different heroes that were meant to look like the cast of Stranger Things, and so. Let's see, let me find some of them. All right, so let's see. We had a couple of regular ones, and we're going to get into some of the pop, and they're all different pop culture references. I think he might have been somebody, I don't know. This was, I think, Eowyn from Lord of the Rings. This was, and they did a lot in this particular one off of celebrities who died in 2016, because there were a lot of big name celebrities. So we got like George Michael. I think there was, these are characters from Vikings, I think. Prince, James Earl Jones, Valeria, Muhammad Ali, the Kofifi, which was more of a current, Wolverine, Freddie Mercury, another Stranger Things character, so all kinds of different, look at this Iron Man, medieval Iron Man. Of course, they don't call them that. They don't try not to get sued, but there's definitely inspiration there. And in the first Black Plague, they did a bunch of the Knights of the Holy Grail, and so they, and this is like season 2, so they did the Black Knight. Cool stuff just in general. They did Carrie Fisher, so that one is also cool. And she has a whip, and in her full art, her whip is like a lightsaber whip. Lemmy from Motorhead. A lot of just really cool stuff. 11, the Man-Eating Jackrabbit, Snape, all kinds of Storm, another Stranger Things, Wonder Woman. I think this is Ziggy Stardust, I think he's supposed to be. So a lot of stuff. They did really great with this Kickstarter, and and so the problem is this one hasn't arrived yet. I do have the Green Horde base game, but all the stretch goals, expansions, all that extra stuff is still being printed and being packed up and things like that. So for them to launch Zombicide Invader, which is a whole new a second reboot to Zombicide, I'm like, I pledged, I don't know if I'm going to keep going with it though, because they've got a whole, continuation of Zombicide with dragons, no less, still coming. So, and the reason is when Zombicide, rebooted and went with Black Plague, it was a total upgrade to the game. A lot of new rules, a lot of new components, and a lot of improvements. And the problem is once Black Plague came out, I never played the regular Zombicide again. And I feel like they're trying to do the same thing. Well, oh, here's a bigger, better Zombicide. I'm like, well, I don't even have the last one yet. I don't even have Green Horde yet. You haven't even shipped it yet. So, it's like you want me to pledge for another reboot when I don't even have the last one that I paid, a lot of money for. So that's what makes me wonder about the timing of this one. Was pretty tough. But Simon Kickstarters are usually pretty good. Rising Sun was another one that I was really happy with, and I just shared. Broken Token is doing a deluxe insert for Rising Sun with a whole new crate. It's going to be amazing. Some other ones, Simon did Massive Darkness. This one I was really excited about because this one is like Diablo. It still is very similar to the Zombicide kind of rule sets, but it's very much, it plays differently in that like monsters will spawn and they'll have weapons, and when you kill a monster, they're using this sword against you. You pick up the sword they had, and maybe you can use it now. So that's pretty cool. I haven't really played this as much. I only really played it once, so I want to play some more Massive Darkness. GKR, this one came out. I was really excited about this one. This was this giant killer, and a lot of these are I'm covering some that have already passed. And so GKR was fun. I did the unboxing. One of these days I'm going to do a how to play for GKR, because I've been playing it a couple of times and I think we've got the rules down pretty good. And another reason why Zombicide I'm less likely to want to do it right now is that Nemesis. Now Nemesis was made by Awakened Realms, who also made Lords of Hellas, which is definitely one of my favorite games. Nemesis is your space survival horror, kind of based on Alien, or I'm actually reading The Expanse right now, so it seems like like this futuristic science-y, onboard spaceships and stuff is like becoming a little bit more popular now, and this one looks just really, really cool. A whole bunch of expansions, optional buys. Usually when you pledge, they give you a whole bunch of extra, expansions for free anyway, and then you can get the optional buys if you want to get everything. I went all in on Nemesis, so we're gonna have all kinds of stuff for this one once this one shows up, and it may be a while. It might not be till next year by the time this one shows up. And if you're interested in this survival horror space stuff, and this one's a co-op, but it has unique roles, so everybody's going to get like a card at the beginning of the game, and your job may be to ensure that you save somebody's life. So maybe you're trying to, cause an explosion only so then you can come and save somebody. So you have a victory condition there, but then maybe somebody else is trying to make sure the whole ship blows up. And then maybe somebody else is trying to make sure, that we get to the escape pod and, one person exactly dies or something like that. Like there's different, and you don't know, and these are secret goals. And this one has a late pledge available, so if you're interested in Nemesis, I think you can still get that one. But a lot of cool Kickstarters. I mean, I've backed a ton over the years, and I think there's more. This is just the last like 10 or so. Some of them I backed just at the $1 level, so I can just see what I can get updates and maybe get access to a pledge manager. And then there's a lot that I have backed and then canceled. Pacific Rim, I accidentally canceled Lords of Hellas. I repledged immediately. I don't know why it shows as a canceled, because I definitely backed that one. And then Pacific Rim was, well, it looked terrible. It looked awful, awful, awful. And then some of these I regret, like, Blood Rage I canceled, and I just didn't have the money at the time, and and that one ended up being like one of the best games of all time. So these are the two that I have going right now. But it's fun because you can just search. You can go search for board games, and let's see, and it's cool because if you go to games, you can say view all. You can look for a specific type, explore games, and if you go to games, there's a tabletop games, because they also have video games that will go on here. You can look for tabletop games, and then you can sort by newest, or like I like to sometimes sort by newest, but although sorting by most popular is cool. Fireball Island is on here right now, which is really cool. Dinosaur Island is incredibly popular. If you like Euro games, I generally don't like Euro games, so even though this one is super, super popular, I don't know if it's something that I would be into, or at least I don't know if I would be willing to take a risk on it. Terminator, I haven't even looked at this one yet. God Tier looks kind of interesting too, but you can sort by newest, and like for a little while I would check these like every week, and just like, sometimes it's the image that gets you. Sometimes it's like, oh, do they have minis? Sometimes people launch stuff with just minis. Sometimes people launch terrain. Sometimes, so if you're playing like Legion or something like that, you might find some stuff on here. Sometimes people launch stuff for like X-Wing. Sometimes there's play mats that get launched. Sometimes there's like damage decks or damage deck holders, or all kinds of different expand, so you can click on something and pull it open and take a look. You can look at the different pledges they have available. Sometimes there's add-ons. And usually you make a pledge and you can change your pledge and just like increase the value if you wanted it to be, to get some optional buys. But yeah, and they'll do like reviews, and the good Kickstarters will usually have a lot of extra content as you scroll down. So pretty cool stuff. But let me know what you guys think. Have you guys ever done Kickstarter before? What are your views on Kickstarter? There's also a new round of the giveaway going on right now. So if you want to win an expansion of your choice in the form of a $20 Cool Stuff gift card, all you need to do is become a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my other videos. It's as simple as that, guys. So yeah, new giveaway starting right now. Make sure you enter to win that. Click that little bell for alerts so you don't miss out on future videos. I will typically announce winners for those contests closer to the end of the videos. So make sure you are watching all the way through, and make sure you click that bell for alerts. Make sure you're a subscriber and leave a comment to enter. It's as simple as that. I just want to thank you guys so much for watching. Look at these dragons, man. I can't wait for Green Horde, the rest of Green Horde, and all this stuff to show up. Zombicide has definitely always been one of my favorite games, but Black Plague, I think, kind of just perfected the system. So I just don't know what to think about Invader. And the other thing is it's got two character classes. This is a new thing. It involved character classes. You've got civilians and then soldiers, but the soldiers they all kind of look the same. They all have this big bulky armor, which is, hey, big bulky armor is cool, but I don't think of that as for a Zombicide game, and all the stretch goals they're doing, they're doing a lot of stretch goals and, recognizable characters, pop culture characters. That's fine, but I mean, all the big armored guys are all going to look the same from a distance. I just don't know. I don't know. And plus, when you get a Zombicide game, you've got like a million minis to paint, so it's rough. But yeah, more excited about Green Horde coming in and showing up. And plus, I've already paid for Green Horde, so again, a lot of times I'll back these games and then I'll eventually cancel if I'm just not sold by the end of the pledge. But I am in a habit of pledging early because they tend to, for one, you get emails when they unlock new stretch goals, which is fun. But then you just, sometimes things run out, It's nice to have an early backer number, too, if a game gets really big. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think of Kickstarter. Have a great day.